Mathew Knowles is admitting Beyonce's complexion gave her much privilege in the music industry. Would she have been as successful if she were darker? As the cheating drama finally unfolds on TV, Jordyn Woods is stepping into her own. Should she be regretting her encounter with Tristan Thompson? And B. Smith's husband is breaking his silence. Is he wrong for entertaining another woman while caring for his ill wife? These are some of the stories making the headlines. Get it, Jay. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jay Williams. Let's jump right into Mathew Knowles. The father of Beyonce Knowles made an appearance on the Clay Kane Show, which is on Sirius XM's Urban View. In it, he admits that Beyonce's career was affected by her lighter skin. I'm not sure if that's the word that he wanted to use, but that's what he said. He said her career was affected by her lighter skin. He also went on to say that it was the exact opposite for Kelly Rowland. During the interview, Mathew said that he taught a college class that did its own research on colorism in music spanning a period of 15 years. And while doing the research, they found overwhelmingly that light-skinned black women fared better than their darker counterparts, specifically when it comes to top 40 radio. During the interview, Clay and Mathew both named several celebrities they believe to have received this type of privilege, those being Alicia Keys, Mariah Carey, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, and of course Beyonce. You guys know the usual suspects. He also brought up Whitney Houston and how during her prime, they often tried to make her appear lighter due to a perception that if you were lighter, you were smarter and more economically advantaged. Now, first things first, I just want to know who paid to learn this information, because I don't think that this is worthy of tuition. Y'all aren't going to waste my time and have me in a class with Mathew Knowles teaching me what is Common Sense 101. Like, we know. However, where I think he does this conversation a great service is when he brought up Kelly Rowland being the exact opposite. And I happen to agree with him here because Kelly is super, super talented. Maybe her music selection isn't the greatest, but she does have some bops here and there. And she can sing. She can genuinely sing up to par with Beyonce, I'd say. She was, if you forgot, the second lead vocalist of Destiny's Child.
I'm the second lead vocalist of the group, and that's about it.
So the talent is there, but we've seen oftentimes throughout her career her just not get that main stage and that big break that it seems kind of is thrown at Beyonce in some ways. But I do want to say, granted, there is some privilege that I'm sure lives there. I don't deny that at all. We have to admit that Beyonce is a hard worker, right? Like women that are coming up behind Beyonce, Normani being a perfect example of that. Those women kind of have to take cues from Beyonce and see how hard even her as a lighter skinned black woman has to work in order to get the acknowledgement that she gets in comparison to her white counterparts. So I think there's struggle across the board. And though I joke about this being a horse that's been beaten to death in the conversation, I think it's a conversation worth continuing to have, because I feel like the more that we have this conversation, the more people that subconsciously have these perspectives about darker skinned people can correct themselves and become more sensitive to it. But let me know what you think. Do you ever think there will be a pop songstress that is dark skinned and taking over the charts? Drop your comment below. And let's move on to Jordyn Woods, who is living her best life. You see Jordyn and she's out here giving you this hair. She's out here giving you a nice fit. And she looks really well put together in the midst of all the chaos that you can imagine her life has been for the past several months. And all of that is coming to a head this weekend as the Kardashians are prepping for the reveal episode of all the drama that went down between Khloe, Tristan, and the rest of the sisters as they tried to figure out what the strategy was going to be in moving forward with Kylie and Jordyn's relationship. While all of this is happening, Jordyn was busy hanging out with some of her celebrity friends like Rick Ross and Ray J on the set of Hip Hop Squares, and I think that's amazing. I was having this conversation with some colleagues of mine, and I think the bottom line is, for what she did, Jordyn was in the wrong. I think that Khloe trying to crucify her in public and in the media was where Chloe was wrong, because she knew what she signed up for. She knew who she was with. In Jordyn making this decision to interact with Tristan in the way she did, whether it was an intentional decision or it was a complete accident as she says it was, I feel like it's done nothing but wonders for her career. We see her now as her own kind of celebrity, and she's making an appearance on Hip Hop Square, so it's only up from here in contrast to where she was when she was glued to Kylie's hip. I'm here for it. What about you? Do you think that she should regret her decision? Do you think this is only 15 minutes of fame that she's about to get and then everybody will forget about her? Drop it in the comments. Lastly, this story just intrigues the hell out of me because it's one of those things that you think about when you consider marriage and being in a committed relationship with someone for the rest of your life. B. Smith, who was formerly a model and owned a chain of restaurants, in recent years has been suffering with dementia. B. Smith is married to Dan Gaspy, who has been her husband and business partner for nearly 30 years. Even though he is caring for his ill wife, he is entertaining this new relationship with a woman by the name of Alexandria. And so people feel it's disrespectful. They're all living in the same house, which is a mess. Cindy Adams of Page 6 sat down with Dan, and here's what he had to say. Everybody tells you how to live your life, but that's while they're living theirs and not surviving through our problems. I'm in my 60s. I lived tied up in a box 5 years. Childlike, Barbara can no longer spell a word. He goes on to praise her for all of her accomplishments as a trailblazer. But in response to any criticism, he says, Barbara's being cared for and loved. She's not in a box, not struggling or dying. I have a 7-bedroom house in partnership with an assisted living facility. I take care of Barbara. I'll always take care of her. My daughter Dana, who's 32, is caring for her. My lady friend Alexandria is taking care. Diagnosed with dementia in 2013, Barbara then told me to live my life. It would maybe not be bad if I weren't so lonely. I mean, if we're being honest here, I see both sides. On his side, I can understand now being in a situation where you have somebody that you can't even connect with on the same level as your best years. So it kind of puts you in this predicament where you have to put on a good face, though you're not being fulfilled in certain ways. And I'm not even just talking about sexually. On the flip side, though, I can understand people criticizing him not only for having this relationship, but having the woman live in the same house, which has me gagging. That just seems kind of foul right there. But I do understand where everybody else is coming from, in the sense that when you took those vows, that was what you promised. You said, till death do you part, through sickness and in health, and you lied. But he did say that she gave him her blessing, and if it's good enough for her, it's good enough for me. What about you? If you were in the same predicament, would you be able to commit to your vows? Let me know below, and that is all I've got. So once again, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell while you're at it so that you can get new notifications whenever a video drops. If you like this video, you should just hit the like button while you're at it. I'd appreciate that. And let me know your thoughts on everything discussed down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Share this video with your friends, get their thoughts on it too, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.